Are you ready to make your home build the most desirable property on the block? Hi, I'm Terry Thayer. I've been in the building business for the last 30 years, and I've helped countless builders just like you turn their financial struggles into thriving businesses. With my strategies, they're not just completing projects, they're maximizing their profits and achieving financial freedom. I'm here to share the top features that make homes irresistible. Before we dive into the details, I put together a free guide that breaks down these features and more. First up, I always prioritize the comprehensive energy efficient package. This design maximizes comfort and minimizes utility costs, making homes feel better and cost less to operate. Here's exactly what I include in my energy package, and pay attention because the devil's in the details here. First, here locally, I follow Duke Energy's Hero program and aim for the lowest HERS rating possible. I know you may not have Duke Energy, so you're gonna want to get with your local energy provider to see what they have to offer and if they have any rebates that they give for following HERS. If you're not familiar with HERS ratings, think of it like a golf score. Lower is better. The national average for new homes is around 100. Code-built homes come in around 80 to 85. My homes consistently are hitting between 45 and 55. That translates to about $1,000 to over $2,000 per year in energy savings for the homeowner. Here's how we get there. And this is where you can really differentiate yourself. To start with, LED lighting throughout. This seems basic, but you'd be amazed at how many builders are still using standard light bulbs in closets, garages, and secondary spaces. Every single light bulb in my houses, we use LED. The cost difference may be $200 per house. Upgraded windows. Standard code in my area requires a U value of 0.35. We install windows with U values between 0.26 and 0.28. Yes, they cost a little bit more, maybe about $800 on a typical home. But here's the thing, when you can tell a buyer that their heating and cooling bills will be at least 30% lower than their neighbor's identical size home, that's powerful. We install 15.5 SEER units with a fresh air intake system. The fresh air intake system exchanges the air about every 20 minutes per hour, except for when humidity is high. This isn't just about efficiency, it's about quality. Post-COVID, buyers care about this more than ever. We completely encapsulate and condition our crawl spaces. We start with a 6 mil vapor barrier, and then when we're finishing it, we put a 10 mil on top of that. If there are pony walls down there, we use 2x6 framing instead of 2x4, allowing for R19 insulation instead of the R15. We run a supply from the HVAC system to condition that entire space. Why does this matter? 3 reasons. First, it eliminates moisture problems that plague probably 50% of homes in humid climates. Second, it makes floors even more comfortable. No more cold floors in the winter. Third, it adds usable storage space and stays dry and clean. Before insulation goes in, we foam every penetration. Windows, doors, electrical boxes, everything. We literally walk the house looking for daylight and seal every single gap. Then we caulk around every electrical box, supply line, and returns after the drywall is installed. These details might add $500 in materials and labor, but they're the difference between a home that feels drafty and one that feels solid. Now here's how you market this. You don't just list these features, you translate them. You show them the HERS certificate. You make it real money, not just features. Next, I include high quality features in a kitchen and main living spaces. Not only do these make daily life more enjoyable, but they also elevate the overall aesthetic of a home, making it more attractive to potential buyers. The kitchen is the heart of the home, so I always install quality where it counts. But here's the strategic part. You don't have to go crazy with luxury appliances to make an impact. It's about choosing the right upgrades that buyers notice and value. First, let's talk about the kitchen island. I aim for at least 4 feet by 8 feet when possible, with seating for 3 to 4 people at the island. This becomes a natural gathering space and defines the space without walls. And pendant lights above, not just for function, but because they create a focal point that photographs beautifully for listings. Solid serve countertops throughout. Not just the kitchen, but the bathrooms too. natural stone or quartz depending on your market. The cost difference from laminate may be $3,000 to $4,000 for the whole house, but it's the #1 feature buyers are looking for. Pro tip: choose colors that are timeless, not trendy. White and gray patterns sell homes. That exotic purple granite, not so much. Cabinet hardware matters more than you think. No builder grade knobs. We use solid brushed nickel or black pulls and handles throughout. The cost difference may be $200 for the entire house. The pantry isn't just shelves. It's a walk-in pantry when possible, or at least deep closet pantry with built-in wood shelving. Remember, no wire shelving anywhere in my homes. In a pantry, I often add an outlet for small appliances. Small detail, but a huge convenience. In the living spaces, it's about creating an atmosphere. Can lights throughout instead of basic flush mounts. We position them strategically, not just a grid pattern, but designed to highlight the space, creating ambience, not just illumination. Every ceiling fan comes with a remote control. The cost may be $30 more per fan. The convenience, priceless. Buyers love the idea of controlling the fan from bed or the couch. The open floor plan isn't just about knocking down walls. We define zones with ceiling treatments, maybe a tray ceiling in the dining area, or different can light patterns. We vary flooring materials strategically to create zones while maintaining the flow. Here's a detail most miss: sight lines. When you're standing at the kitchen sink, what do you see? We designed a kitchen so dirty dishes aren't the first thing that you see from the living room. The covered porch extends the living space. Large windows or sliding doors connect inside and outside, and we prep it for screening if the buyer wants to add it later. The outdoor living space effectively adds square footage without the cost. If you're finding value in this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe for more content just like this. And don't forget to download the guide I mentioned earlier. It's completely free and it walks you through everything I'm covering today. I can't stress enough the importance of functional outdoor spaces. Whether it's a patio or a garden, these enhance livability and create additional entertainment options for families. But here's what I mean by functional. Not just a slab of concrete or a patch of grass. We create outdoor rooms that extend the living space and add real value to the home. First, the covered porch or patio. This isn't an afterthought. It's designed as part of the home's flow. We include a ceiling fan and can lights always. Add multiple outlets for lighting, decorations, or outdoor entertainment. Make it screen ready, install the framing headers to accept the screening later or include it. This cost almost does nothing during construction, but adds massive flexibility. Drainage is critical but invisible. Every downspout should connect to underground drainage that carries water away from the foundation. Not just splash blocks, actual buried pipes that daylight away from the house. This might add $2,000 to the build, but it prevents tens of thousands in foundation problems and keeps the yard usable after the rain. The landscaping isn't elaborate, but it's complete. We don't just throw down sod and walk away, grade properly for drainage. We add at least foundation plantings. Nothing that requires major maintenance, but enough to frame the house. Use more mature plants instead of tiny and cheap sizes. Mulch all beds properly. Edge everything cleanly. Here's what separates good from great: irrigation prep. We will not install a full system, but we run sleeves under the driveways and walkways for future irrigation. We stub out water lines where they would be needed. The cost may be $300 during construction, but saves thousands if the homeowner wants to add irrigation later. The driveway and walkways use proper base preparation. So many builders skimp here. We use an adequate gravel base, compact it properly, and reinforce concrete when needed. Yes, it costs more upfront, but callbacks for cracked driveways will eat your profit and reputation. Consider the garage as part of the outdoor space. We insulate garage doors and add windows for natural light. Install workbench area or at least blocking for one. Add extra outlets. You can never have too many in a garage. Include overhead storage systems or at least blocking to add them. The backyard gets attention too. We don't just level it and seed it. We create at least one defined area, maybe a gravel pad for a future fire pit, or level the area perfect for a playset. When marketing outdoor spaces, sell the lifestyle. Don't say covered porch. Say an outdoor living room perfect for morning coffee and evening gatherings. Show stage photos with furniture. Help buyers visualize their life in these spaces. I integrate smart home technology that makes life easier and more efficient. Features like smart lighting and security systems are not just a trend, they're becoming essential for today's home buyers. But here's the key. I don't go overboard with built-in smart devices that will be obsolete in 3 years. Instead, I create the infrastructure for whatever smart home technology the buyer wants to add. First, comprehensive Cat 6 or better wiring to strategic locations. Not Cat 5, but Cat 6. The cost difference is negligible, but Cat 6 supports 10 gigabyte speeds. We run Cat 6 to every bedroom, the living room, and a dedicated spot for a home office or study. All of these lines run back to a central panel, the Tech Command Center. In every bedroom and living room, we install blocking in the walls and put power outlets and Cat 6 connections up at mounting height. This prep maybe costs $100 per location during construction. To add this after drywall, at least $500. Smart switches and outlets in key locations. Not everywhere, that's overkill. But the front porch light, smart switch. The master bedroom overhead light, smart switch. A few outlets in the living room and master, smart switch. This lets homeowners add lamps and devices to their smart home system without rewiring. The thermostat gets a smart upgrade. We install programmable Wi-Fi thermostat as a standard. The cost difference from a basic thermostat may be $150, but the energy savings and conveniences are huge selling points. Buyers love the idea of adjusting the temperature from their phone. Security system prep is standard. We don't install the full systems because buyers have different preferences, but we pre-wire door sensors, motion detectors, and cameras. We install lockbox for the control panel. The prep work costs maybe $500, but saves the buyer thousands when they want security later. The garage gets smart home attention. Outlet near the garage door opener for a smart controller. We rough in for electrical vehicle charging. 240 outlet EV adoption is accelerating. Even if your buyer doesn't have an electric car now, they might in 5 years. USB outlets in strategic locations. Kitchen island, master bedroom nightstands, home office areas. This might cost $20 more than standard outlets, but they're incredibly convenient. No more searching for charging blocks. When marketing smart home features, focus on convenience and future-proofing. Infrastructure for tomorrow's innovation is already installed today. As we explore each of these features, remember, they're not just about aesthetics. They're about creating value and enhancing the quality of living. I built a home last year with all 5 of these features. My total additional investment was about $10,000 above basic builder grade. But here's what happened. I sold the home in 12 days before drywall was even finished. The buyer paid $35,000 more than comparable homes in the neighborhood. Why? Because they could feel the difference. They understood the value. The energy package alone justified a huge part of this premium. When I showed them the HERS certificate and explained the $2,100 annual savings, they immediately understood they were getting more value, not just paying more money. The solid doors and built-in shelvings made them feel like they were getting a custom home. The smart home prep meant they wouldn't have to hire contractors later for upgrades. But here's the real magic, word of mouth. That buyer has sent me 3 referrals. Their friends came over, noticed how comfortable the house is, asked about the lower utility bills, loved the built-in features, and suddenly they wanted me to build their home too. These features don't just sell homes, they build your reputation. If you want to dive deeper into any of what I've taught here today, I teach these strategies and more in my home building blueprint program. It's exactly how I've helped hundreds of builders go from struggling to building thriving businesses that work with or without them. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell because next week I'm diving into something that can make or break your business. I'm going to show you the exact steps to take to future-proof your business. Trust me, this is something you're not going to want to miss. Until then, get uncomfortable, get out there, and start building the business you actually want instead of the one that's burning you out. I'll see you on the next one.